I want to start with a thought that came to me quietly, the way the real ones always do. The thought was chasing. Not chasing a dream or a career or a goal. I mean the other kind, the kind that lives underneath all of that. Chasing love, chasing validation, chasing space in a room, chasing acceptance. The feeling of belonging somewhere, to someone, to a community, to yourself. And I want to ask you something. When did that start for you? Because you weren't born chasing. None of us were. Welcome to the Always On Mute podcast, where we know not everyone was born with a mic in their hand or a megaphone in their mouth, but we still have something to say, because quiet is still a voice. Welcome to the Always On Mute podcast. I'm Antonia, and this is where quiet minds speak with intention. If you are new here, thank you for being here, and if you're returning, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications so that you do not miss a future episode. All right, so let's get into this. Think about it. From the moment you arrived, attention came freely, right? People gushed over you. They passed you around the room like you were the most beautiful, precious thing that they had ever seen. Look at the baby, right? They studied your face. Look at those eyes. Look at the smile. Look at the cheeks. I could just eat you up. Nobody asked what you had accomplished. Nobody needed you to be agreeable or useful or presentable. You simply existed, and that was enough to make the whole room lean all the way in. As you grew, it continued. The hugs, the kisses. She's so cute. People reaching for you, celebrating your smallest steps, your first words, the way you laughed, everything. You didn't earn any of it. You simply received it. There is a difference. And then, almost without you noticing, the rules changed. Being adored became being complimented. Being complimented became being noticed. And being noticed started to feel conditional on how you looked, what you accomplished, how useful you were, how agreeable you were, whether someone chose you. That is when the chasing began. And most of us never stop to ask why. Let me tell you something personal about me. I was a cute baby. The way that my mommy tells me, when I arrived, I had a full head of hair, I was a little chubby, and I had a very serious face. I would close my eyes when people came around, like I already knew I needed to protect something. But the compliments kept coming anyway. Fast forward to my early teens. I was tagging along with the older folks wherever they were going. That's just how it was for me, right? You know how it is at that age, though. You're not quite a child anymore, but not quite grown. And being in the company of the women in your family, it feels like the most important place to be. So there I was, walking behind my mother and her first cousin on their way to the grocery store. I was present, but invisible. That is the only way that I know how to describe it. I was there, I was part of the outing, but I wasn't part of the conversation. I was just in the wake of it, the way young girls often are when they tag along with the grown women they love. Close enough to hear everything, but far enough that nobody thought to lower their voices. So that is when I heard my mother's first cousin, who I call aunt, say to my mother that my sister was pretty, but I was attractive. Now, I need you to hold on to that for a second, right? Because for me, as a young girl, you know certain words. You know pretty, you know beautiful, you know cute. Those words land on you like warmth. You recognize them instantly. You know exactly what they mean about you. Attractive? What the heck is that? Attractive. She didn't say ugly. She didn't even say plain. And I know now, standing on this side of life, that she didn't mean any harm. She loved us. We loved her. I loved her. I still do. Those words came from a woman I trusted completely. which is exactly why they landed the way that they did. The people whose opinions live inside us the longest are rarely strangers. They're the ones we often reach for. They're the ones whose voices we carry home. But as a child, and children don't parse intent, they parse meaning. And the meaning I pulled from that sidewalk conversation on the way to the grocery store my aunt and my mother have long since forgotten was this: my sister is pretty and I am something else. Think about every story you absorbed as a child. Every Disney movie, every heroine, every star, beautiful, stunning, fairest of them all. Nobody ever described a Cinderella as attractive. No. Nobody said Snow White had an attractive quality about her. Princesses are beautiful. Princesses are pretty. The word attractive doesn't exist in the language of magic and worthiness that little girls absorb before they even know they're absorbing it. Am I still upset about it? Not really. So when attractive is the word that lands on you, even from someone who loves you, even without malice, your young mind already knows what it means. It means you didn't make the list, honey. No, you're not up on the list. I wrote my own verdict in that silence. I decided I was basic. I was average. I picked up that label, folded it nice and small, and carried it with me along the way in life, tucked away like something worth keeping, the way we do with the things that hurt. And that is the part that stays with me. Why do we do that? Why do we hold on to the things that sting and let go of the ones that shine? We carry hurt like groceries, tucked under our arms, hauled from place to place, long after whatever was inside has expired. We keep it, we protect it, we build entire beliefs about ourselves around something said on an ordinary afternoon, on an ordinary walk, by someone who never knew the weight of what they left behind. So I grew up and people started saying new things. I love to dress up. That part has always been true. Put me in a great outfit and I am fully present in it. But I don't really wear makeup. Sometimes mascara, sometimes a little eyeshadow, lip gloss, of course. Right? Mostly I show up barefaced, as natural as they come, with my naturally kinky curly hair, my own face unfiltered, the way God gave it to me. For a long time, I called that basic. Just me. Nothing extra. Nothing remarkable. The girl who didn't need much and didn't expect much in return from a mirror or from the world. I have grown to love and appreciate that I am anything but basic. Because what I was calling basic was actually something else entirely. It was original. It was unbothered. It was a woman so settled in her own skin that she never needed a mask to walk into a room. That kinky curly hair, the kind the world has historically told us to tame down, relax, cover, apologize for, that's a crown. That bare face, unretouched and unfiltered, carrying every story I've ever lived through, that's not basic, that's rare. And I just needed enough time and enough living to finally see it that way. And still, along the way, beautiful was thrown in my direction. Stunning, amazing, all the words arriving like gifts I never reached out to catch. No one could convince me of who I was. I was attractive. I had decided that a long time ago on a sidewalk in New Jersey, and attractive is none of those things. Strong Black woman I respect deeply paid me compliments. Women I looked up to. Women whose words carry real weight in my life. But they loved me the way mothers love. And in a mother's eyes, no one is as beautiful as you. They were supposed to say those things. So I received the words with a smile and let them pass right on by. And yet, we kept chasing the version of ourselves we thought we were supposed to become. Running toward a mirror that would finally show us something we could believe. I will tell you this though. When I looked at photographs from years ago, I saw something I completely missed when I was living those moments. I saw a beautiful Black woman. She was there the whole time. I just wasn't ready to see her yet. And here is what I want to say directly to the Black woman in this space, because this part belongs specifically to us. Nobody handed us the princess story. The world gave us strong. It gave us resilient. It gave us backbone and fire and the ability to hold everything together when everything was falling apart. And those things are true and they are ours. But strong is not the same as seen. Resilient is not the same as cherished. And somewhere along the way, we accepted a version of ourselves that the world felt comfortable with. Capable, unshakable, impressive. And we let go of the version that was always the truth. We are not average. We are not basic. We never were. We are queens with God-given crowns that were placed on our heads before we ever drew our first breath. Crowns that the world has side-eyed, scoffed at, grown uncomfortable around. Because a Black woman who knows her worth, who wears her crown without apology, without shrinking, without performing average so that the room stays comfortable, that woman unsettles people. That discomfort belongs to them. That crown belongs to you. So the question worth sitting with is this: when did you set it down? When did you decide that attractive was close enough? When did you agree to basic because the room went quiet when you stood in your fullness? God sends messengers. I believe that with everything in me. He sends people into our lives to deliver a word we need to hear, and sometimes we refuse it. The messenger arrives, and we smile and we nod, and we let it pass. The way I let every beautiful and stunning and amazing pass right through me for years. So he sends another one and another one, and each one carrying the same message, wrapped in a different voice, a different moment, a different season of our lives. I have experienced that more times than I can count. And then one day he sent the right person. Someone who could reach past the wall I had spent decades building. Someone whose voice carried differently. Someone I trusted enough to finally let the words land where they were always meant to land. It's the same message that God was sending all along. I made you. You are beautiful. You are enough. The right messenger arrived, and I finally listened. I finally believed. Here's where I am now. I know who I am. I know whose I am. And I've released the need to chase what was always meant to come to me freely. That doesn't mean the journey is over. We are still becoming. Every one of us. But there is a difference between becoming and chasing. Becoming means you are growing into something real. Chasing means you're still trying to earn something you haven't quite learned how to receive. Black women in particular have been running for a long time. Running to prove, running to earn, running to be seen in rooms that weren't built with us in mind, by people who needed us to shrink in order to have themselves feel large. You can stop running now. Not because everything is resolved. It isn't. Not because the world has finally gotten it right. It hasn't. But because you are enough right now, in this body that you're in, at this age, with this history, with these stories you carry. The version of you that exists today requires everything you survive to get here. That is worth something. That is worth everything. So I want to leave you with a question. The same question I started with. When did you start chasing? And more importantly, what would it feel like to stop? You don't have to answer it today. You just have to be willing to ask it. Because the woman who can sit with that question honestly, she's not chasing anymore. She is arriving. And she always was enough. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for spending this time with me. It matters a great deal. If this message touched something in your heart, or you were thinking of somebody while you listened, please share it with them. They may need permission to stop running too. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so and turn on your notifications so the next one finds you. Then tell me in the comments, when did you start chasing? And have you given yourself permission to stop? You don't have to explain it. Just naming it, I think, is enough. Remember, being quiet doesn't mean you have nothing to say. It means you choose your words with intention. Stay muted, stay mighty, and I will see you next time. Take care.